your week, because that's still a thing apparently. We are still, so I think it's Monday anyway, might have to double check. I hope you're all keeping well and enjoying these videos still. Probably gone on for longer than we all expected, and it's that finding that balance of kind of slowly getting used to teaching just to my phone on a tripod instead of all of your lovely faces, but also keeping that memory and kind of joy and magic of teaching in front of people again, which I'm really looking forward to, and I really can't wait for whenever that's going to be, whenever it's going to be safe and we're all ready. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So for you today is I've got a nice little kind of full body flow, a little variation on a vinyasa that we're going to learn through that's real nice, real kind for the spine, and then we're going to layer in some kind of hip stretches and things like that. So pop your mat down, jump on up, and we will get started. In a standing position for me, at the top end of your mat, bring your feet to just wherever they feel comfortable to be. So you don't have to worry about being feet, knees, ankles together, about a hip width apart or wherever feels right. Just take those few breaths, looking down at your feet. Try and grasp the floor, your mat, with your toes, and just by pushing the weight through the heels and then through the balls of the feet and then through the toes, grounding your energy, taking that lovely deep breath in to roll the shoulders, pick them all the way up, and then exhale the shoulders down from the ears. Inhale some tension through the hips, the thighs, the butt, and then breathe in, lift the arms overhead. Big reach up to the ceiling, palms together. Inhale, think grow as tall as you possibly can. And exhale into our baby back bend by keeping a squeeze in the glutes. Just start to lower your shoulder blades behind you, tuck the chin so the neck isn't hyperextending. We just want to feel that little bend, that little extension through the upper back, the shoulder blades here. Lovely. Exhale, take those arms in a big dive down to the floor. Let the body hang, let the knees bend. Exhale and chin onto the chest. And then inhale, slide your hands up your shins like you're rolling up a pair of socks. And press through your flat back extension. Press a little straighter through the back of the knees if you can as well. Exhale to the floor. As much knee bend as you need to work your hands, your fingertips down. And 2 big steps back into a plank position. Lovely. First high plank of the day. Shoulder blades are down and together. Give me 1 deep breath in here. Hold the core in tight. And then exhale, pop your knees down, flatten the feet for round 1. Working through this little vinyasa variation. Bring your body to the floor, elbows tight into the waist, lower all the way down. And just by pushing your hands forward and grounding your forearms here, beside the chest and the shoulders, inhale up into a little Sphinx pose. So we don't want too much pressure, forearms into floor. We're still actively pulling the chest and head up by sliding the shoulder blades back to lift the ribcage, Sphinx. Exhale, lower to the floor. Draw the hands back so they're just beside your chest and tuck your toes so your body starts to become active on the floor. We're going to bring the head down, forehead down. And by tucking the toes, you're going to shoot your hips up, keeping your chest low. So we're just here. Knees come in, hips shoot up, toes stay tucked. Keeping a straight spine, strong spine. Start to switch on a little, working your triceps. And push on out of there, through cow stance. Take a breath in, curl the back, cat stretch. Rolling the spine, finding that really nice movement and softness in the back. After the plank work, exhale and push your cat stretch backwards like your hips are coming down into a child's pose variation. We're still curling the spine, the shoulders are still high by the ears. Inhale, because those toes are already tucked, push your hips up to the ceiling, lift the kneecaps, and then straighten off the spine by working the chest towards the thighs. Find your first down dog. we're not here for very long. Eye gaze forward to the hands. Breathe in, step the feet in wider than the hands. Toes turn out to about 45 degrees. So we've stepped in wide. And we're going to exhale, bend the knees out and come into either our sumo squat here, and we lift the chest, or dropping all the way down into our Hindi squat. Interlace the hands in front of you. Breathe them up in front and above the head. And as you push the palms to the ceiling, draw your body with them. Breathe all the way back up to standing. Baby back bend, shoulders go behind you. And then exhale, fold to the floor and heel toe your feet back in to hip width. Exhale, lower. Inhale, draw the hands up the shins, push straight knees, straight spine, flat back extends. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the feet back into high plank, hold the body there, and either by dropping the knees to the floor or staying strong, lower you all the way down. Take a little lie down, flatten the feet for a moment. Breathe the hands and forearms flat to the floor. Inhale, come up for your Sphinx. Just taking a real passive, gentle back extension here. Warm us up for the week. Exhale, lower chest, pull hands back, tuck the toes. Breathe in, lift the hips. Exhale, push your body up. Inhale, cat stretch curl. Exhale, child's pose, sit back. Inhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Exhale, step forward, feet just outside of hands. Inhale, hold. Exhale, bend the knees wide, sit as low as feels right for you into your squat. Inhale, interlace fingers, push them overhead and push out. Lift chest. Exhale, heel toe the feet in, forward fold back down to the floor and let everything hang heavy. Beautiful, how's it feeling? It should be really nice in your spine, this one. We're a little less strong than a normal traditional full pace vinyasa, but we get that moment just to open our hips and get a little bit more passive kind of extension, a little bit more work on mobilising the spine here. Take me through one more time with a little bit of pace, and then we'll move into our flow. So inhale, up the shins, lift chest, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step to plank. Exhale, knees or toes to the floor. Inhale, Sphinx pose, flatten the forearms. Exhale, lower down, tuck toes. Inhale, shoot the hips up. Exhale, press through the arms to lift to cow. Inhale, tuck chin and pelvis, cat pose. Exhale, push back into the hips and the heels. Inhale, draw the pelvis to the sky, find down dog. Inhale, step feet forward. Exhale, hold, fold. Inhale, draw the hips down. Interlace the hands as you breathe, push up. Exhale, forward fold, heel toe the feet together, let everything hang. And inhale, come on up through flat back extension. Exhale, back to the floor. Inhale, this time we're going to add on from our plank. So take 2 steps back, find that high plank position, and then just wave the body back into a down dog. So take the hips high, pull those shoulder blades together, and soften the knees if you need to, if your hamstrings aren't loving the stretch. If they are loving it and they want more, think heels push to the floor as well. Take a big breath in, bend and crouch the knees, take an exhale and spring right leg forward, just outside right hand. Take as many steps as you need to get there. Exhale, flatten the back knee and the back foot. Flatten your left hand to the floor so your right hand can lift and come out. And just by using forearm to inner part of knee, let that knee drop open, let the chest turn ever so slightly, and I just want you to feel getting deep into this stretch. So allow the hips to come forward and down, and by pushing this knee out, but keeping the big toe screwed into the floor. We're active in that leg, but we're releasing the stretch. Lovely. Take one more breath in here. Exhale, flatten both your hands to the floor. Tuck your back toes and lift the knee. Inhale, push back into your high plank. Finish the sequence. So knees or toes to the floor. Breathe through these poses now into Sphinx, chest up. Exhale, pull the hands back. Lift the hips, shoot them up. Inhale, press all the way back and then curl the spine to cat stretch. Exhale, keep pulling those shoulders up to the ears as you push your body weight back, and then straighten the spine and draw those shoulder blades together as your hips come up. Inhale, step feet together wide at the top. Exhale, bend the knees down and lift chest. Inhale, rise up tall. Exhale, forward fold, take it back to the floor. Inhale, come up the shins. Push a little straighter in those knees now. Find that hamstring stretch here. Exhale, floor. Inhale, plank. And exhale, wave your plank back into a down dog. Lovely. Straight arms, straight spine. Legs a little bend if you need it. It's whatever feels right for your body. Take a big breath in, draw the knees down to the floor, crouch. Exhale, spring left foot. Drop straight into your low lunge. So back knee is flat, back toes are flattened. And then by grounding your right palm, a little wide of the hand, a little wide of the hips, so you feel stable. Take the left elbow and forearm to the inner part of the knee and just push that knee out. Let the knee drop out and open as the hips drop down to the floor. Take a few breaths here just to slow the pace of the work. Using the exhale breaths to drop your hips down into the stretch. You want to find that your pelvis is kind of turning on that angle with this stretch here. Last inhale breath. Exhale, float the hands back to the floor, pick up the back kneecap, shoot on back to your high plank and finish the sequence. Exhale to the floor. Inhale up through Sphinx. Exhale, lower tuck toes. Really shoot your hips up to the knees ground and then push through strong arms. Exhale, take it back. Inhale, take it high. Exhale, step. Lovely work, everybody. Keep moving. Try and make this as fluid as you can. Breathe. Keep thinking about moving the spine at every opportunity. Lovely work. Last time here. Breathe in, lift the chest. Pick up the head. Exhale, float your way back down. Inhale, step through into your high plank and wave it back into a down dog. Lovely. From your down dog here, you're going to drop your knees to the floor wide, big toes together, and start off in a little child's pose here. Forehead rests, hands rest, shoulders relax. We're going to work through a nice intense stretch here today called frog. And what I want you to do in your frog is, if you have any problems with your knees now, just pop an extra layer of cushioning or a mat here. So you could use another mat, a towel or cushions. Just get them underneath your knees to give it a little bit of support if you need to. From your child's pose, I want you to slide your knees as wide as they'll possibly go. Keep the big toes together to start with. And take 3 deep breaths just by pushing back into the hips and lowering the forehead down. So we've got the body a little bit warm, we've got those hips a little bit open in our twisted lizard lunge. Now we're going to give them that full-blown stretch to release off any of the sins of the weekend. Breathe in, pop your forearms to the floor, just underneath your shoulders so you're supported here. And then with that support, knees as wide as they'll go, you're going to kick your feet out so that your knee is about in line with your ankle, and you should be able to spot your toes either side of you. So get a nice wide foot position, inside of the foot is flat to the floor. Like two little frog's legs, hence the name that we're going to give this stretch. And then the depth of intensity of stretch in frog is how low can you go. Wiggle those forearms forward, let the hips come down so they're close to the floor but not on the floor. And take a big breath in here, perching on the forearms, exhale, push the hips back but not up. Now do that 5 times for me with the breath. Inhale, release the stretch a little bit, come forward. Exhale, push back with the hips, not up. Beautiful, go again. Inhale, release. Exhale, push those hips back into themselves. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, stay low to the floor, get back. Feel that release through inner thigh, internal hip flexors, hip rotators. If it's too much on your kneecaps anytime, just come back into a child's pose. Last time here. Exhale, squeeze back. Aim to use that breath to release tension. We're not forcing the stretch. And then inhale. Walk your forearms back in until you've got a little bit more resting weight on them. And 1 foot at a time, slide the feet in. Inch your knees back together until you come into a child's pose. And rest the hips back down into the heels. Just take a moment to accept that stretch, accept the length that it's made in your hips. They might feel a little fragile for a moment. You might just rock them to side just to tell them it's okay that we found that length there. And then for one more time today, spread your fingertips into the floor. Draw your body weight forward and into a high plank on knees or toes. And take the sequence. Exhale to floor. Inhale to Sphinx. Exhale back down. Inhale to shoot. Hips up. Lovely. Make this one fluid movement now. Try not to stop and hold any pose. Just try and think about taking your time, moving through each different one. Working at the pace of your breath, the pace that your body feels happy to move. Exhale, fold. Inhale, draw the hands up, flat spine. Exhale, roll on down. Hang the head, let everything go heavy just for a moment in your forward fold. Feel a lovely sense of warmth and heat that you've created in your hips. Bring the fingertips to the floor, bend both knees, set one foot behind the other. Take a little seat, whatever feels right for you, and relax. Wonderful work, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed that as a nice little start of the week flow. Not too intense, but nice to play around with some different sequences. And chances are, if you've got kind of tight hips, you're not used to stretching in this capacity, that frog pose might have felt really weird, real strange, and real kind of painful even. But my advice is just stick with it. It's one that we're going to do again this week, I think, so we should be able to have a little bit more play about with it. And it's absolutely wonderful just for opening up those hips. Anybody with tight quads, hip, lower back, knee pain, it's going to be a really beautiful stretch for you all. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you all tomorrow. So mwah, take care, lots of love always, and I'll see you soon.